And we are live. Welcome back to the Dom and Pop podcast, live and in person. Pop, how you doing, man?
Good. Live from the crib.
Yes, sir.
Sounds by Dom Studios.
Yes, sir. Live from the home
LA.
studio. It's good to be here, man. And what a game. You couldn't have asked for a better football experience, top to bottom. Just exactly what you want. The boys obviously made it there live, got to enjoy it. SoFi Stadium, Chargers fans, class of the NFL. Just as good as it could have been to go watch a football game.
Well, they were the away team.
Yeah, they were the away team.
Class of the NFL.
They were the away team. They knew they were outnumbered. I mean, we completely, it's no exaggeration, completely took the stadium over. I guess that's maybe the first point you want to talk about. It was shocking to me. Like, I'm walking in and I'm seeing, like, okay, a lot of burgundy, and then we're up in the 500s, and I'm going, okay, row one, which, by the way, best place to watch a football game is row one of the 500s.
And the SoFi.
Yeah. Everything. And yeah, SoFi is just unbelievable.
And your eye level with the incredible video screen there.
Yeah. Can't say enough good things about SoFi, but it was so cool to get there. And then I'm seeing a lot of burgundy walking in, and then I'm seeing a lot in our section. And then you look around, and it's like the loudest points in the game were defense chants when we were on defense.
Yep.
So it was really exciting. Just a great atmosphere.
Jane Daniels homecoming, home field advantage.
Jane Daniels homecoming.
Bobby Wagner too, I guess.
Yeah, but Bobby Wagner's been back home a few times. I mean, he played home for a year.
That's right.
But yeah, it's just all in all, man, what a great experience. What a lot of fun. And yeah, the win definitely massively impacts it, because I'm sure if things went the way it looked like they were going to go to start the game, I'm sure I wouldn't be on here ranting and raving about what a great time it was being at Chargers Stadium. But wow, what an awesome experience. What a great win. Yeah, Pop, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you hit on it. The slow start looked like a lost football team to start that game. You know, we go 3 and out again, hold them to a field goal, and then we jump off sides on the field goal attempt, and it just looked like, oh my God, this team just looks lost. And then, you know, we just got it going, and big turnover, you know, really helped us out on the reception and forced fumble there. And then, you know, we just start turning things around, start getting the offense going. JD5 looked like JD5, which is probably the best news
He's back.
we can have. And Bill, I mean, Ja'Cory Cross-Key-Merritt was just
Bill
phenomenal.
has arrived.
Like Adam Peters, I'm sure there's a little luck involved when you pick a guy in the 7th round like that. But my God, can that guy play football?
He did bring him in for a top 30 visit. Yeah. So it's maybe there's a little luck that you bet a lot on the fact that the guy would still be there in the 7th round. But he knew what he was doing with that pick, man. And a good day overall for Adam Peters. Terrible day for the Adam Peters haters. Luke McCaffrey with a huge catch. Luke McCaffrey has arrived.
Catch in a big spot there.
Welcome to the Washington Commanders, Luke McCaffrey. He has arrived. He's a legit contributor to this team at this point. Because that catch on that drive kind of turns everything around. Everything starts to kind of look like it's going to break our way. You could feel the momentum swing on that drive when he had the big catch. And then Debo, who, again, Adam Peters, great trade to bring Debo in. Debo had the big catch on that drive as well, pretty much right after that. Jordan McGee played really well today. Jane Daniels, of course. Mike Sammers still has that key interception on a Johnny Newton tip. So it's literally just Adam Peters' 2024 draft class realizing itself in this game and bringing the spark and the life that this team needed to this game. And it was really incredible to see because, yeah, that 10-0 start you're feeling awful about, and then the way they turned it around and the speed at which they turned it around, and then just all of a sudden 27 unanswered points to finish the game.
Well, you mentioned it, right? The key sequence is that catch by Luke, you know, that allows us to tie the game. And then we get the ball back in the second half.
Yep.
And we're able to just, you know, go down the field and score. And all of a sudden it's 17-10. All the momentum is on the Commander's side. You know, probably like the next drive, you know, we get the stop, 3 and out against the Chargers. And then the next drive was disappointing that we had to settle for a field goal. You know, we had them on our heels. and we kind of like deuced ourselves a little bit. Kind of started going backwards.
Yeah, some
Jayden missed
penalties.
a throw. I would have liked to see second 5. I'd like to see you keep giving it to Bill, but maybe I'm getting a little greedy there. But not a lot to complain about here. Yeah, of course. I saw somebody post there's some things to clean up. I mean, you could say that about every game, but that performance against a really good team, home field, traveling across country, I think it was brilliant that they came out here to practice on Friday. Team just has to get more consistent, but it's a really good football team when they put it all together.
Yeah.
And like, where did that defensive performance come from? I mean,
Wow.
2 different teams from last week, right?
They kept us in it. I mean, you figure if the defense doesn't force that turnover on Johnston down in the not the red zone but the green zone, they were in scoring position. They could have made a field goal from there, right? If they don't force that turnover there and it ends up, 17-0, 13-0, things feel different, but you force that turnover and everything turns around. And same thing, long drive down the field, Herbert is just diming, and you force that turnover to just let everybody breathe a little bit at the end of the game. Mike Samerstill, who somebody said it would have been a touchdown to Keenan Allen if Newton didn't tip the ball, but if you watch the way Newton tips the ball and the direction change, and then you watch the way Samerstill caught it, Samerstill was making a break on that ball. That was an interception either way, but he had to readjust. It was actually a heck of a play by Samerstill. He had to readjust. The ball ended up like behind him because of the tip, and was able to bring it down. And it was just a really, like, those 2 moments for me, forcing those 2 turnovers at the times that they did, were so timely, so key. I thought overall the tackling was so much better.
Yeah.
The run defense
Gang
was
tackled
good.
a lot.
Gang tackling. Thank you. You had guys there, and, it is frustrating to watch a guy slip through somebody else's arms, but you had 2 guys right there after. Almost every time. The run defense was phenomenal. I mean, Hampton was almost completely new. He had like 12 carries for 40-something yards, almost completely neutralized the kid. It was really, really impressive. Sans a couple like undisciplined plays with Herbert in the read option. He broke that one first big scramble at the beginning, but overall, I mean, look, Justin Herbert's going to make some good plays.
But I mean, essentially, if you think about it, right, they gave them 2 field goals.
Yeah,
because that shouldn't have been a touchdown. Like, they jump off side on a field goal attempt. So defense bent but didn't break. I mean, you got 5 quarterback sacks, 6 tackles for losses, 9 QB hits.
Yeah,
I mean, now they took advantage of an offensive line that was missing 3 starters, but you got to pressure quarterbacks like Herbert. Quarterbacks like Penix, if you pressure them, they're different players. And Herbert was great today. Herbert, I mean, he there were times where it didn't seem like it mattered if it was 20 yards to get a first down, 30 yards to get a first down. It seems like he was going to make the completion to get there. But
how about that Jalen Lane catch on 3rd and 16?
Yeah,
to kind of turn everything around, because we forced a turnover, and then we end ourselves up in 3rd and 16. And just a seed from 5, a great catch from Jalen Lane, and all of a sudden you go, whew, okay, we're only down 10. It's early, and the whole game shifted. There was Cliff called a great drive. Cliff called a fantastic game from that play on. The way it started,
the first drive
was rough.
Awful.
But what I'm excited about, Pop, is that Bill and his play demanded that he's going to be getting that football early and often, because Cliff is just going to look like an idiot if he's not finding every way to feed Bill for the rest of the season. After today,
we need to have a little bit of a discussion about this team and, the potential. But, I think one thing that has to be mentioned is going 99 yards to put up the final points of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the big turnover, but then you're pinned back, right? Anything can happen at that point. You can give them the ball back, pretty quickly you could turn the ball over yourself. You go 3 and out, but they just look like the offense of last year, where they weren't going to be denied. 5 wasn't going to be denied. They were moving the ball. And so that was just incredible. And you talk about a dime or a seed or whatever the kids' terms use this day. That pass Debo on 4th down.
Oh my God.
I mean, that was a beautiful pass and catch.
So how about
and,
that,
you know,
right?
I said it to you after the game. We talk about Terry. Can't wait to get Terry back. Like, how big of a boost is that going to be? When the ball's in the air going towards Terry, you're feeling pretty confident. I'm getting there with Debo.
Well,
I'm getting there with Debo because he's going to out physical the D-back
Yep.
and get the ball. And his hands are proven to be pretty darn good. And
Yeah.
He's pretty versatile. And that was just incredible. Going 99 yards in that spot was just fantastic.
So he's shown. I'm lost at what anybody could have to say negative about Debo at this point, and it's just so clear that, like, look, the dude was hospitalized for pneumonia last year. I've had pneumonia a couple times. I don't know if you've ever had it, Pop.
Thankfully, no.
When I had pneumonia, I couldn't, and I was a kid. I was like in like elementary school. I couldn't walk down the driveway to get the mail without running out of breath. This is an elite top 0.1% of the world athlete got hospitalized with pneumonia. That's not something you just come back from like that. That's not something you're just okay. Like, and people just completely lose context as if this guy wasn't an all-pro a few years ago, and also wasn't operating in an offense. I mean, if you have any amount of literacy, you can see. You can see. Let me finish this point because it's important. You can see, when did Christian McCaffrey get there, and then when did Debo start getting less touches, and then all of a sudden his numbers went down. Well, yeah, he's touching the football less because somebody else showed up and started touching the football 30 times a game. Like, it's maddening to me.
Great player.
To say anything negative about the guy after what he's shown to start the season.
Well,
and
look,
for the people that doubted him, you're just looking for something negative
always
to say
comes
about
from
the team.
Opposing teams' fans. So, enough said there. But you only punt the ball twice. Again, they just got it going. 5 looked like 5. I mean, had the brace on. I think that was incredibly smart. But you could see it's a situation where he's so mentally tough and he's so determined. And he made big plays with his legs. And, wasn't going to let that brace stop him. Maybe slow it down a hair, maybe. But, he just looked like Jaden Daniels. And anybody who wants to doubt or talk sophomore slump or any of that stuff, just keep talking. Just keep talking. Just keep talking.
It's just going to start sounding like your Debo Samuel takes. If you want to keep talking about it, have fun. But
anyway,
to the point was supposed to be about Debo, which is just a fantastic player, makes a great catch in that position. And there's just never a doubt. I mean, he was 8 catches on 11 targets today for a bunch of yards and a touchdown. Like, he can do it outside. He can do it in the slot. He can do it from the backfield. I think that's what I've been most impressed about, is how he's played it as an outside wide receiver since he's been here.
And look, we're excited because you talk about wins, big wins against a really good football team. Chargers, people were crowning the Chargers earlier this year too. And you get a big win against them, and their home field, even though, it was
with
home field advantage for us.
Banged up team too.
But I
We're
think
hurt.
You look about this team, there's lots to be excited about. The offensive line. I mean, that offensive line is balling. And you don't even have Sam Cosby back yet. And you got Laramie Tunsil there, as an addition. And you kick Wiley inside. And all of a sudden, we're not hearing too much about Josh Connerly, being a turnstile anymore. So they stuck with the kid. That's going well. You don't have your two starting running backs from last year. You don't have them. And the running back room is much better than it was last year, right? You got 3 guys that can ball and play really well. I mean, McNichols made some big plays. That one first down run, or I can't remember if it was a short catch, and you're just like, I think it was a short catch. Make a miss is what we were saying. They made a miss, got a first down. I think some of the upgrades on defense, with Kinlaw and Armstrong starting to play, even though he wasn't an upgrade, definitely Trey Amos. I think we're starting to see the paces come together. Now, They got to get more consistent. You go drop the game next week. We're back at it, But I think it's a team, and I said this in the pregame show, and again, part of it's me being hopeful, wanting to be hopeful. I always try to glass half full, but it's an ascending team. It's got a team that's got a chance to ascend. And now you get JD5 starting to get in his groove and all the other pieces we just talked about. I think this is, this is a good football team, and I've said that before. But the other last point I'll make real here for this section is what a big win. Because the difference between being 3-2 in this spot, even if it had been a less dominant win, it turned out to be a dominant win, but even if it had been a less dominant win and we won by a field goal, the difference between being 3-2 in this spot and 2-3, especially with the games we got upcoming, is huge.
Yeah, and it's if you look at the context, right? Like you would have said early in the season, you were hoping to probably start 3-1. If you look through the first four, ideally 4-0 was what we were all kind of hoping for. But you look at the context of Jaden gets hurt midway through the first half of the second game to come out of that 2-2 and now beat the Chargers on the road in what a lot of people were saying that's probably the first loss of the season or the first game that you say, ooh, that could be a really tough one in the preseason to now go out. And after the way the Chargers started the season too, to go out and win that game the way they won that game, which was sans the first 7 minutes of the game, complete and total dominance. I mean, they ran that football team over for the entire 3/4 of that football game, the way they finished. It was just, to win in that way with no McLaurin, no Noah Brown, right? No, who else were we missing? We were missing a ton of guys. With the amount of injuries that we had to go out and finish that is really, really special and impressive to me. And I think it's time to say, like, this is the first game for me. I even thought in the Giants game, okay, we won, but week one, little wonky against the Raiders. They're pretty rough, and you got Mariota in at quarterback. This was like, okay, this is the football team that I rooted for last year. Better, even improved. This is that energy. This is that spark. This is that feeling. And you close the game off with a 4th and 7 touchdown to Deebo Samuel, where you just knew you had it. Yeah,
I mean, they needed to adjust. The adjustments they made on the offensive line were huge because we came into the season thinking that was a big upgrade, and they didn't play that way the first 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
So they need to adjust. They need to find their rhythm. Anyway, I don't, they got to be consistent. They got a big win against the Bears next week. But I like what we saw today. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, 389 total yards, which is the most that anybody's done against the Chargers defense. So I know some people were wondering how we'd match up against them. That's how we matched up against them.
Did a good job protecting JD5. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible.
The offensive line was really, dude, Tunzel,
dominant in the run game.
Tunzel is just, like I said, it's like I really feel like, when they spin the iPad around at the coffee shop and they say tip and the only options are like 20, 25, and 30%. I feel like Adam Peters can just do that. Just send him another pick. The Tunzel trade was just so good for us. Send him a tip. Send them a tip.
He's one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL. If you look at his, PFF grades, stats, everything that's going on with him, he's just playing great. And the leadership he's demonstrating too with that O-line, which we weren't sure about, right? So,
when a player gets traded away from another team and generally a poor organization, we saw that happen with us a ton back when he who must not be named was running the team. The organization goes to the media and says certain things that they can get away with saying in order to try and make the deal look like they were doing the right thing for their team. It's just the PR spin of the NFL.
Let me give you one. One sack, one quarterback hit by the Chargers. That's pretty good when you think about the stats we rattled off earlier with our defensive line. So
pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. It's hard to nitpick. It's hard to find things that you don't like about the game other than the slow start, which I think, you got to clean that up. But at the end of the day, if you're going to go rattle off 27 unanswered, there's not a lot of teams you can't beat scoring 27 unanswered points.
Yeah, not going 3 and out in the first offensive series would be nice.
Don't love that. Don't love that.
That seems
Maybe
to have happened a lot this season.
Maybe handing the ball off in the first offensive series. I think we'll see more of that. I think we'll see more of that now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're starting to build an identity, which, again, takes a little time.
Yeah.
So,
but again, overall, I mean, 28 carries for 163 yards on the ground. Everybody, McNichols, Daniels, Rodriguez, Krosky Merritt, everybody contributed. Rodriguez was mostly just kind of ice work at the end of the game, but did a good job securing the ball. But if we're gonna get into the numbers,
let's do awards. I was just going to say that.
Yeah, so pretty
Read
easy.
my mind.
I was about to read off Bill's stats, but let's just say it, man. Bill Krosky Merritt, Sauce Award.
Without a doubt.
Feels good to be here. We got that RB1 for sure.
First 100-yard
sure.
game. 8 yards a carry. 7.9, but we'll round up.
Yeah, 14 carries, 111 yards.
Multi-touchdown game.
2 touchdowns, long of 27, which I believe was a touchdown run on the 27-yard run.
He had like both touchdown rounds were like mirrors of one another.
Yeah.
Runs were mirrors of one another.
And two catches for 39 yards as well, so 150 total. Now,
he's not good in the pass
game. Oh man, we're having a laugh about that for those of y'all that are maybe just listening or multitasking. But yeah, overall, pretty darn
we
good
found our RB1
from the young man. We definitely found our RB1. Helmet stickers. We said we're going to do 6 total awards, 3 offense, 3 defense. So helmet stickers on the offensive side of the ball. Jaden Daniels, of course. Jaden, welcome back. 15 for 26 completion, 226 yards, 8.9 average of his passes. So yeah, he only throws checkdowns, but he's averaging about 9 yards per attempt. 1 touchdown, and yeah,
he can throw every pass.
Was only sacked once
out there.
Also ran for 5
and
yards.
He demonstrated it today.
Yeah, he also ran for 5 yards a carry on 8 attempts, 8 for 39, long of 12 there.
He threw the ball away a couple of times too.
Yeah,
I was calling for that.
Yep.
He did a great job managing the game. Like, I mean, yeah, I think the stats weren't as good because he did throw the ball away. He was smart about it. Was there an interceptable ball in that entire game?
No.
Anything that even came close?
No. There wasn't
Hasn't thrown one this season yet.
There wasn't a single moment other than when Cliff called that stupid quarterback power where Jaden Daniels was involved with the football and you went, there wasn't a single moment of that.
Cliff called a great game. The first drive was not so great. I think he just overthinks himself sometimes and probably thought they were keying for the run and was trying to do something different. Maybe trying to get the cobwebs off of Jaden on that second play. But that could be the kickouts of the game. That play call on that second play was awful.
No, we'll get to the kickouts of the game.
Yeah.
Because there's a good one. But ain't no cobwebs on Jaden at all after that performance. And it's just a classic, like I just said to Pop, like if you looked like, this is why you have to watch the football games to have opinions. Because if you look across the NFL, if we looked at a Bo Nix game where he was 15 for 26 and had 226 yards, we might say, okay day.
I was liking me some Bo Nix today, by the way. We'll get to that.
Oh, yeah. So was my buddy at the game. You might say, okay. Okay day. But nothing special. But if you watch the game, 5 was just incredible. I mean, it was just everything he needed to do got done all the time, the entire way. And yeah, I mean,
we were there. We watched the game. We watched every play. I thought he played great.
Sky's the limit for the kid.
A couple of throws, but what quarterback doesn't? I mean,
and there were also a couple drops. So
yeah.
Sky's the limit for him. And then otherwise, offensively, Deebo Samuel, 8 catches on 11 targets for 96 yards.
Talked a bunch about him earlier, but that boy can play.
Just a phenomenal. I mean, I was telling Pop, like, I almost don't even count Jaden at this point as like one of my favorite players because obviously he's my favorite player. He's turned my franchise around. But Deebo Samuel is my favorite non-Jaden Daniels commander at this point in the season. He is just so darn good, man.
Well, and you think about it, right? The line was, he's going to have to put that receiving group on his back, and he did. Yep. I mean, he had 8 catches. The only other 2 receivers to catch a ball were one to Luke, great catch, and one to Jalen Lane, as well as great catch. That was it.
Yep.
That was it. Krosky Merritt had 2. McNichols had 1. Bates had 1. Ty Martin, sorry. Ty. He made a nice play.
Yeah.
As well.
Tay.
But Tay, so my bad. But But Debo put that receiver group on his back. He lined up outside. He was great.
Yeah, I mean, I almost think when Terry comes back, I'd almost be interested to split Debo out wide on the other side from Terry and then have Luke or Lane work in the slot and go,
Just
okay.
move Debo around. Just
Yeah.
let him do everything. Let him
He's
be the
just-
Swiss Army knife that he is. Let him do everything. I don't mind if he doesn't get too many carries, but just get him the ball, whether it's on the screens or the short passes wide, whatever you got to do. Get the ball in his hands. Let him get downhill. He's
Yeah.
great.
And bring him back next year.
Without a doubt.
Quick shout out to Luke McCaffrey, even though he doesn't get a helmet sticker. That catch, a 50-yard catch that was as big of a momentum swing in the game as anything else that happened. And I just want to say, like, a lot of people, myself included, like, I'll put the hand up, maybe expected bigger things faster from him and were quick to react. And he's arrived. I mean, this is 3 weeks in a row now. Great in the return game. Somebody had to step up, and he stepped up. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns in the last 2 games, 1 in each game respectively, and then he had this catch today, which I was saying I love watching the game from up there because you can read the coverages and you can kind of understand what's about to happen. And right before he made the catch, right before the play started, I said, watch 11. I said, if 11 runs a post, that's a catch.
Yep.
And he ran a deep post, and he caught it. And it was an incredible gutsy catch. And just, yeah, I mean, the young man has played a bunch of different positions in the last few years. He's incredibly athletic. He's learning how to play the wide receiver position. All the heart and the grit you could ask for. I mean, this guy was probably wide receiver 6 for longer than he's been wide receiver 2 or 3, right? And I'm really excited to see that he's arrived. He's become a part of the program, and I can't wait to see how he can contribute when you get a Terry McLaurin back on the field, when you get a Noah Brown back on the field.
That is like got to be one of the best honorable mention awards ever given anyone.
Yeah, I think it's time to give the guy some respect. I think he absolutely deserves it.
Well, big in the return game
yeah.
too, and I think taking that off of Debo's plate is huge.
Yeah, that's the other massive side of it is that you can just put him back there and just trust him to return.
He's got to have as good a stats as any returner in the league right now. He's just playing really well.
Him and Debo are like 2 of the top 5. Yeah, and not enough can be said about the young man, and I think Jalen Lane will follow similar suit in respective time. Moving forward though, defensively, our 3 defensive helmet stickers. Pop, you wanna kick us off?
Dorrance Armstrong was number 1.
Yep.
Had a monster game. We could even give him a defensive co-sauce. 2 sacks, 2 tackles for losses, 2 quarterback hits. Just his presence was felt.
Ball player,
Yeah.
and the staff and AP kind of didn't make the splashes at pass rusher that you thought they might have, or a lot of people had projected they would in the offseason because of how they felt like Armstrong could ascend and that he could be that.
I think they like the
pass rusher number 1
too.
They also loved Wise,
Yeah.
who unfortunately was off to a great start. You lost him, but Armstrong is the real deal, man. He's
No doubt.
He's balling, so I'm pumped about that. Otherwise, speaking of the real deal, speaking of great days for 2024 Adam Peters draft class, Johnny Newton.
Yep.
That boy can ball, man. That boy
Forced
can
a turnover
ball. Forced that turnover with the tip pass, and was just wreaking havoc on the interior of that defensive line. I think he's really coming on, and it just goes to show, man, good football players, good teams. We're so used to draft picks being useless in this town based on the last couple of squads. It's like big name in the first round, and then you get nothing out of anybody. We're not used to guys developing, having an offseason,
Right.
getting better, stepping up. But this is what's normal. 2nd, 3rd, 4th round guys, you don't expect. Maybe they can start right away, but a guy like Trey Amos, who, by the way, baller, who comes out and is immediately a starter and a key starter right away outside of the first round is rare. These guys need time to develop, and Johnny Newton has developed into what I think is going to be an absolute stud on that defensive line, and I think that's another kid that I think the sky is the absolute limit.
Yeah,
for
he
him.
also had a sack, tackle for loss, the big pass
Yep.
defense that we talked about, and then a QB hit. So, like you said, played
Dog.
really well.
Dog. And then otherwise for our
Mikey
third
Sanistril.
defensive sauce goes to Mikey Samerstill, and you know that jumping off sides at the beginning of the game and the way things had been going for him at the beginning of the season, you're going, ugh. But I saw a good point, and I kind of remembered he didn't have the best start to the season last year because he had to start playing outside, and he was playing out of position. And they've moved him back to the slot this year, which is an entirely different position. So he's almost like having a second rookie year. I mean, he's used to game speed, but he's playing a whole new position.
I've been the first one of the two of us. I would say I'm the only one that preached patience with the secondary.
Definitely.
I just said, got to be patient. They're good football players. Maybe not great, good football players. And I think, this team, so finish up on Mikey, great game. Second on the team in tackles.
Yep.
Made his presence felt. Got that interception. He played really well. But this team has to play complementary football, and it all goes together. The offense has to keep the ball, sustain drives. This is not a defense. I don't think almost any defense in the league, but especially not this one. You can't just keep throwing them out there. They're going to bend as long as they don't break, and they didn't break today, pretty much hardly at all. I think that there's enough there that when the offense performs up to their capability, which, believe it or not, as the season goes along, this is the potential to be a better offense than it was last year. If you think about the pieces that we talked about earlier that we added. So,
yeah, I mean, when you put Terry back outside and this thing starts to click all the way together, there is no world where this isn't a better offense than what we had last year.
And you got to believe Terry's at home just
dying,
probably chewing on a piece of raw meat right now,
dying to get back out there.
Yeah, and it seemed like he's trending where he's pretty close. So
definitely,
maybe Monday night.
So yeah, Mike Samerstill for that third defensive sauce award, or defensive helmet sticker, excuse me. Ball player, man. He turned around after that and he had himself a heck of a game. So
some pretty interesting results around the league too, son.
Yeah, some fun stuff going on around the league.
Yeah,
man.
Eagles take their first L. You hate to see it, especially that guy that was sitting behind us.
Let me take a moment. Let me take a moment on that. We're shifting our vibe to negativity. We're gonna hit the kickouts of the game, and let me just tell you,
I forgot the kickouts of the
game. If you wear the biggest rival of a team to a game that they're playing's jersey, and the rival's not playing, aka if you wear an Eagles jersey to a Commanders game, and it looked like his girl or whoever he was there with was a Chargers fan. So cool. Put on some blue.
Doesn't bother me that
Root
much.
for the Chargers. Don't show up in an Eagles jersey. You look like a dork. And that's not just for Eagles. I would look like a dork showing up to Jerry World or...
I only go to Commanders games, so I wouldn't know.
If the Cowboys came to play the Rams, right? And I said, I want to go watch the Rams play because I actually like the Rams. I want to go watch Stafford play live. Which, based on the experience and how the missus enjoyed the game today, looks like that might be on the table, which is great. Thank you very much, Dan Quinn and the Washington Commanders, for bringing that up. But if you show up, we're more than good on time. I know your eyes can't see that little 33 down there, but we're plenty good on time. If you show up to that, it's just dork behavior, man. I would not show up to a Rams Cowboys game
to the
and a
game
Commanders
to the
jersey.
Eagles fan. I'm making an audible. Yes,
it's a kick out to the game, but I've already made him far too big at this point.
Yes.
He doesn't deserve that spotlight. And his team blew it against the Broncos today, which is awesome.
Get to the kickouts of the game.
The kickouts of the game, and this is a first and likely a last ever in Dama Pop history, where you get a sauce award and you also get a kickouts of the game. The kickouts of the game
gets the kickouts.
Has to be that Bill fumble, because you just go, he fumbles it and you go, oh no. And I'm watching the clock and I'm going, they would still have to pull off something pretty. It's like 6-7 minutes left in the game at that point. And it's like they would still have to do something pretty.
I think the fumble was right at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
But I don't think so. But I'm watching the clock and I'm going, I still don't feel great about this. But then you get the Sammer still pick. But yeah, it was 4 plays into the fourth quarter.
Yes.
So it was about 12 minutes left.
A lot of time.
So you're feeling like this could go either way at that point. I wasn't feeling particularly good about it, but I'm thinking, okay, we do have a little bit of cushion. It's a 2-score game still. But you can't put the ball on the ground there. It was pretty much the worst possible thing you could do.
It's a moment where, I mean, then the Chargers go on a 14-play, 53-yard drive, 7 minutes. Like, the only reason they didn't score was because of that goal line play by Johnny Newton and
Mike
Sanistra. So, the way the Chargers were moving the ball, you thought at some point they were going to come up with an answer. We went 20, without unanswered. So yeah, that was a scary thing. Luckily, the defense did step up, make a play. That's what we were all screaming for. So, yeah, he's got to protect the ball. Got to do better with that, because I think that game was over at that point. We looked like we were going to continue
it was totally
driving. We looked like we were going to continue eating clock, probably at least put 3 on the board.
Yeah.
And then, we dropped the ball. So that sucked. But
yeah, at that point, you're hoping to go up 27-10, and Bill just puts the ball on the ground. So definite kick out to the game there for that fumble. However, he made up for it when he got the ball back. He was electric yet again. And overall, like, dude's good at football, man. Dude's good at football.
And around the league, we mentioned the Eagles lost. Did we mention the Eagles lost? The Eagles lost.
Oh, yeah, just a reminder.
First game.
Blew it. They were up 17-3.
Yeah.
Some would say they blew it. I'm going to leave that up to you guys to figure that out.
Yeah. Still a great team, but to lose at home to the Broncos, who are all right.
Broncos are good.
But yeah, week to weekly, things like that happen. I'm not going to trash them too much for karma, but Giants lose to the Saints. That's rough. Not a good week for our brethren up in Baltimore.
Oof. I mean, no Lamar, but again, 40-plus points on that defense.
Yeah, defense is struggling without a doubt. So, barn burner of a game between the Bucks and the Seahawks, 38-35.
Yeah, Baker had like almost 400
yards.
Baker
is balling.
Baker's on MVP pace.
So, anyway, those are probably the most notable games.
That is one other quarterback I'd take over Herbert. That's a hot take. We were talking about it in the car. How many quarterbacks would you take over Herbert? Well, again,
it just goes to
Daniels
show.
is one of them, by the way.
People, Justin Herbert's a great player. We saw him play live.
I love him.
Makes great plays.
Big fan of his.
But everyone's quick to, start to knock Jaden down a few pegs in terms of the rankings there. And, anyway, enough said there. I mean, a lot of football to be played. Good to be 3-2. Good to see a win. That was just a blast with my son.
Yep, just as good of a football experience as I think I've ever had or could possibly have. Yeah. Maybe will ever have.
I think the good luck charm was our ladies, so shout out to them.
100%. Shout out to the ladies. They enjoyed it. Had a great time with the crew. This was a lot of fun. And let's wrap this thing up, Pop. What do you say? Without further ado, I've been Dom.
This is Pop.
Thank you for another great week, everybody, and hail to the Commanders.
Hail, baby.